Good morning. This is Chapman Walsh here, and we are here at Friday, December 15th, 2023, and we are going to be performing some market technical analysis overview. Right now we're looking at a 4-hour, 240-minute, if you will, chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD, and we are reviewing the breakdown here of this wave 4, and in fact the wave 4 is believed to have finished already, and we're now observing what looks to be a wedge wave 5, which I'm going to bring a closer view into so we can actually see that breakdown. But ultimately, just to keep the overall bias in view in proper perspective. Remember, we have a bias that this is a meandering correction that should last about 4 years at least from the highs of November 2021. It was a 10-year bull run, and to have a 40% time retracement, that would be more than reasonable. So we would expect for this correction, if you will, to finish at some point in time. In 2025. So what does that mean for us? Well, we see that there's still a chance for new yearly highs for 2023 before the end of the year. We see that as a true possibility, and our suspicion is that we'll find this terminus to be the completion of some sort of 3-wave movement, which would be considered to be the first of a double or a triple 3. So once this is terminated, this wave C, this larger degree wave C, we expect to go down in what's called an X wave, which is ostensibly it'll be a corrective pattern of some form. And typically X waves retrace anywhere between 38.2 to 61.8% of the total movement. In this case, of this total movement from down here around 15, I think that low is 15,479 to whatever this high is, which I think they will end up terminating in the mid 44,000s. So we're expecting this terminus to happen here shortly, and then we expect to have some sort of retrace in the coming months. So we think the winter and the springtime will be a time of capitulation for Bitcoin, and it makes sense politically. There's conveniently enough, right, there seems to be an orchestrated campaign or agenda to scrutinize cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin. Elizabeth Warren here in the U.S. political class is most notably taking target at it. You even had, I believe, Jamie Dimon of J.P. Morgan even speak negatively about Bitcoin, and I think that is, that fundamental, I guess, happening, or those fundamental happenings are congruent with what we see as a technical outgrowth, or one may be an outgrowth of the other, right? Depends on theoretically where you stand on what school of thought you stand on, fundamental analysis or technical analysis. I typically see technical analysis as an expression of the human psychology, and I think the fundamental analysis is definitely a big part of the human psychology. So I think it's all intertwined. Now, so we're going to take a closer look here. as again, we have our outward, our overall viewpoint, and then we're going to go to a shorter time frame. So we're going to a 3-hour chart here, and again, we're in this larger wave C of ABC W wave, and that wave C is 5 waves, and in that 5 waves, we're in the we finished the 4th wave. I believe the 4th wave, it's my opinion that the 4th wave was an irregular flat, and that irregular flat pattern, that wave C of that irregular flat pattern, found its terminus at 4,181. And then we went up here for what I see this as 1, 2, 3, and then we have a wave 4 which protrudes past the terminus of wave 1, which is allowable in a wedge wave per Elliott wave principal guidelines. So in these scenarios, you'll have basically a wedge wave such as this move up in a fashion where it's it has corrective characteristics as far as wave overlapping, like typically wave 4 shouldn't overlap or shouldn't protrude, below the end of wave 1, but in wedge waves this is permitted. So when we look at this, that's what we see. We see this wave 5 here, most likely as a wedge wave, and so the first wave here we had from 4,181 to 42,071, which was I believe that's 1,089, or excuse me, 1890. Yeah, 1890. So we had a wave 3 that went up to 43, 44, and then we retraced, and we're retracing now here, and what I think is a triangle pattern. And this looks like this is wave A, wave B, wave C down, which of course it's invalidated if wave C goes below 41,520. But also it should be noted that Elliott wave guidelines suggest that there will be a 0.618 relationship in from wave A to C, meaning wave in that triangle. So wave C will be 61.8% the length of wave A, right? If that ratio isn't such, there will be some sort of Fibonacci connection, and if C doesn't have a relationship to A as in 0.618 times the length, then D will have such a relationship with B, and so on and so on. E will have such a relationship with C. So these are things to think about. So with that being said, you can also do regular Fibonacci analysis from wave to wave to get a kind of a construct of where we should be. So right now we're looking at 41,944 as a particular level to watch. I think where we at 42.58. We're expecting some sort of terminus here for this potential wave C, and then we expect to go up and down for wave B. I have to take a closer look. Okay, boom. We see a bullish flag here. We're still, from a momentum standpoint, we're still pointing downward. So I think that we could retest fully here this level of 41 something, which is fine. Ultimately, that the wave 5 that's coming up will likely be 1.618 times the length of wave 1, which will put us at around 44,000, maybe 44,000, if not a little bit higher. It all depends on when this potential triangle pattern actually terminates. see on the 1 hour chart we're breaching 38, which is, we're breaching 40, which is pretty indicative. But in the 2 hour time frame we haven't breached 40. So right now it's, you know, it remains to be seen whether we're gonna find the official support in the support area. But there is a lot of support here at the 42,000 level. And as you can see here, it looks like we've gotten up past 40 again. From a momentum standpoint, we watched the 40 level because that is in a bullish market, whether we're talking about a 1 minute time frame or a 120 minute time frame. The RSI levels and where it finds support is really indicative, and when it can like be traveling below the 40 level or finding support below the 40 level and then push up above the 40 level and then kind of, you know, look to stabilize, it's always a good sign. So right now it looks like it went down to 42.01 or something like that, or 42.14, and we'll see if we can actually hold that line. But we would expect to go up here now in a wave D, and then wave D, and then wave E, and then we're out of here. So again, you know, let's say we terminate somewhere around 42.5, 42.581. 1.618 times 1890 is 3,058. So we're talking about somewhere in the mid 45s at that point. Yeah, so it all depends on where we terminate. Yeah, so this is important to note. And so let's just say there's some impending, is there impending dollar weakness for the day? Okay, I do think that we could see some dollar weakness here. At least on a corrective, from a corrective standpoint. Well, yeah, I mean, okay. So at least some capitulation here in this zone would be pretty I'd say reasonable. So even if there is a bullish some bullish interaction here, kind of like some sideways capitulation, that would make sense. Euro USD, and not that there's a direct correlation between Bitcoin and other dollar denominated assets, but it's important to look at just to see where cash flows are at. Right. Okay. This looks to be some sort of flat. That was clearly a double zigzags. And then this went up to pretty much the top. So we would expect a movement of actual dollar strength here. Let's see, that took from Tuesday, November 28th to Friday, December 10th. So it's almost like 28th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13, that took 13 market days. from December 8th to now. Okay. Yeah, so I think that you could very well here find support, and also 405. Yeah, we could definitely find support here. If we're gonna look at this as 5 waves up of some sort, and we find support again 50%. I mean, that's a good place for a wave 2 to find support at. So yeah, I think that we'll go into the next couple of market trading sessions, and you'll see dollar strength for the time being. The next intraday market sessions, and I think that that may coincide. This Eurusd is not 100% correlated with Bitcoin, but I do think that when Bitcoin tops out, and you'll see us go to that 44,000, 45,000 level, and then begin that larger degree wave X. I think that you'll see that coincide with dollar strength. I think you'll see the political class in America and the states here continue to demonize digital currency and affix it with all sorts of nefarious activities ongoing throughout the world. I mean, all it takes is some sort of propaganda in regards to human trafficking. I think they've already been trying to link Bitcoin to Hamas and so forth. So I think that for that very reason, that will give an opportunity for the financial establishment to regirth, or I guess refound themselves in Bitcoin, and this time more so at a level that is attractive for them after the risk has kind of evaporated in many ways from the particular asset. We're weeks away from ETF status, or ETF market creation, and so again, I think that the coming months will see that kind of like that dollar strength, if you will, before we blast up to super higher heights. Okay, all right, this is Chapman Walsh here signing off. Have a great day, guys.